I welcome you to the channel which is related to end times, and today we are looking at the regathering of the Hebrew Israelites, and I'm saying it is soon, it will be soon, and you need to prepare. The focus of this video is on the regathering of the Hebrew Israelites. You need to convince the world that the Hebrews are not gathered yet. They are still scattered. They are scattered to the four corners of the earth. It will require a video to go on that direction. And this channel has done a lot of videos about those who are the Israelites, those who are the Hebrews, who are the chosen of God, based on the scriptures, based upon historical records, and based on revelation. And today we are looking at the gathering of the Hebrew Israelites. There are so many debates. Are they going to be gathered by ships? A lot of them went on ships. If you look at the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, and if you look at the history of the transatlantic slave trade, at the same time, if you also look at the Bible, it's not every Hebrew Israelite who was sent into captivity by slave ships. And the prophecies in Isaiah 11, verse 11, looks at the locations from where the Hebrew Israelites will be gathered from. And the locations are specified. Isaiah 11:11. A lot of people have said the Hebrew Israelites will be gathered by ships. I'm not challenging that. I'm not confirming or denying that. I only report what I know and what has been revealed to me. Some people are saying that they will be gathered by planes, and of course they are looking at the reality of the time. But you have to remember that the Lord is a supernatural being, and he does wonders, and signs and wonders are part of his attributes. In the first Exodus, you know how it happened, the parting of the Red Sea. And in the second Exodus, we have to look at the scriptures. And as we read Isaiah 11:11, and then as we also go further and read Isaiah 11 verse 15, it's written, "And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod." And so that is very, very interesting, because that is a future prophecy talking about the tongue of the Egyptian sea, the Sea of Egypt. And we need to look at the symbolism of the language that is used. The Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea. And the prophet Isaiah is talking about Egyptian sea. Exodus 20 verse 2 talks about Egypt as a land of bondage. And so when we're talking about Egyptian sea, is prophet Isaiah talking about an ocean close to the land of bondage, close to the United States, close to the islands of the sea where Hebrew Israelites were scattered to. Regardless of the means by which the Lord will gather his people, regardless, the issue is God going to gather the Hebrew Israelites? So there are two questions. Is God going to gather the Hebrew Israelites? That's the first question. And then the second question is, by what means will the Lord gather the Hebrew Israelites? Both two questions are important, but to me, the most relevant point is that the Lord will gather the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah, as stated in Isaiah 11:11. Tomorrow, we will know how God will do that. And so when the gathering occurs, then we know by which means the Lord will gather his people from the four corners of the earth, as is stated in many prophecies, particularly Isaiah 11:11. So the gathering of the Hebrew Israelites, is it coming? Yes, it's coming. It's coming because it is prophesied, and the Lord that we serve, the mighty God, is not a God who lies. He tells the truth. He did it in the past and he will do it again. And so I'm here to blow the trumpet. We are in the era of blowing of trumpets. Why do I say that? I say that because on July the 20th, 2024, I had a spectacular vision where a group of people appeared to me in a vision, and they requested I draw a man holding a horn in his mouth, symbolizing a trumpet. What does it mean? It means that it is the responsibility of this channel to blow the trumpet of the end times. The gathering of the Hebrew Israelites is an end time event. It's part of eschatology. Even though people are not talking about it, we need to talk about it because it's one of the prophecies that has not been fulfilled. And the reason why I say it has not been fulfilled, I'll tell you in a minute, because of the visions that I have received regarding the regathering of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so somebody tells you that the chosen of God are the Jews, and the chosen of God were gathered in 1948. If somebody tells you that, then the matter is closed. The matter is closed because God has already gathered his people, and his people are the Jews, and they were gathered by the Lord through human instruments, through Lord Balfour, through President Harry Truman, and through the Rothschild family. And they did the regathering, and God used them to do the regathering. How did they come? Did they come by plane to Palestine? Did they come by camels from Europe, Eastern Europe to Israel? Did they walk? Did they trek? How did they come? The history's records are there how the Jews came to Palestine after the Balfour Declaration. And so somebody will say that the Jews are the chosen of God and they were gathered in 1948. I don't go by that. I don't go by that because the visions that the Lord has given to me are visions that are recent. And it shows that the gathering of his people is still in the future. If the children of God were gathered in 1948, why would the Lord still continue to give visions to his people about the coming gathering of the Hebrew Israelites? I'm not the only person who has had a vision about the gathering of the Hebrew Israelites. A lot of people have had visions about the gathering of the Hebrew Israelites, and the visions were given to them recently. Most of them were not born in 1948. And so if the Lord gathered his people in 1948, why will he still be giving visions about the gathering of his people? It means that those who are saying the chosen of God were gathered in 1948, they are telling you things that are not true. They are not true based upon scriptures. It is not consistent with the scriptures in Isaiah 11:11. And so I am giving you here a summary of what I have been told by revelation regarding the Hebrew Israelites who are still um, scattered to the four corners of the earth. And so I'm telling you a summary of the visions, and one of them was um, a vision where a man dressed in a military uniform was at a place where people had been gathered and they were waiting for a transportation. It was a train station, and a lot of people had been gathered. The people that I saw were black people, and the soldier was dressed, and he was a black person. He was a soldier, only one person, and I was wondering how he could control the crowd. A multitude of people gathered at a train station, and the soldier was making sure there was and there was order. There was no chaos. The people who were gathered in the train station, they were orderly, and there were no commotion. But it was a vision of people who had been gathered at a place, a train station, and one man, only one man, was able to control them, and the man was dressed as a soldier. What is the symbolism of that? The symbolism of that is that there's only one person who will gather the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah. And that person has a military regalia. He's the lion of the tribe of Judah. That messianic title symbolically shows that the Messiah is a soldier. He is a warrior. He's a warrior king, a warrior Messiah. And Isaiah 11, verse 10, talks about the root of Jesse. And so let nobody deceive you by telling you that the Hebrews have been gathered, God's children were gathered. Gathered by who? Gathered by Balfour, gathered by Harry Truman, gathered by the Rothschild family. Is it consistent with Isaiah 11 verse 10, where the prophet Isaiah said it will be the root of Jesse who will gather the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah? So the vision I saw about a man dressed in a military uniform shows that one, the gathering is coming, is in the future. It has not taken place, and the man who will do the gathering is not an ordinary man. He's the lion of the tribe of Judah. Remember, I told you about men gathered in the train station. I'm not suggesting that the Hebrew Israelites will go by trains. A train, like an aeroplane, like ships, like horses, they are all symbols of transportation. And the Lord was just showing me that the Hebrew Israelites will be gathered, and they will be gathered under the unction, under the leadership, under the supervision, under the care and custody of a lion, the lion of the tribe of Judah. So that is one vision that I saw and that I will use to confirm the prophecy that the Hebrew Israelites will be gathered. They are not gathered yet. Um, the other vision was a vision that I saw, and it was a vision about the prophet Jeremiah, October 30th, 2007. If I watched this channel before, you might have seen me mentioning that vision. And that vision was specifically related to the so-called African Americans, the so-called Negroes, but who are actually the Hebrews. And the prophecy is hovering over them because they can prove where they came from. They can prove their Hebrew ancestry. The historical records are there. The relics of the transatlantic slave trade are there, and they can show their yoke, and they can show the ships, and they can show the locations where they were captured from, and they can show the plantations and the prisons that were taken in fulfillment of the prophecies in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And so Jeremiah appeared in a vision October 30th, 2007, and it shows that the prophet of the captivity appeared, and symbolically it means that the African Americans are part of the Hebrew Israelites. I want to make it clear that they are not the only Hebrew Israelites, because the prophecy is very clear that not everybody will go by the sword. Some people will escape the sword, and it is a prophecy in Ezekiel, and it's also in Jeremiah, I believe. It's not everybody who will go through the sword, because the Lord said that He will keep a remnant, and the remnants of the Most High are scattered all over the world. And Isaiah specifically talks about Elam, Patros, Hamath. He talks about Cush, and it shows that there are remnants who did not go through the sword of captivity, the sword of enslavement by ships. Okay, so we're talking about ships, and here, why is ship important? Ships are important because they were the transport that was used when the Hebrew Israelites were scattered, based upon the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28:68. You go into Egypt again by ships, and they went into Egypt again by ships. Perchance, would they be gathered by ships? It's a possibility that the gathering will be by ships, but I'm not saying that it will automatically be by ships or it will be by plane, because that revelation has not been given to me, except that I want you to take into consideration one other vision that I saw. And in this vision, I saw a ship on the sea, and I saw a hand writing something on the side of the ship, and the words were, and they sang a new song. They sang a new song. And as I saw the handwriting, just writing, I saw the handwriting on the side of the ship as I watched it in a vision. And then a word was inserted in the writing. Instead of they sang a song, the new writing became they sang the song of Moses. Then I woke up from the vision. And so symbolically, it means that the Lord is showing a song that will be sung by the Hebrew Israelites as they sang the song of Moses in the Old Testament. And definitely in Exodus, they will also sing a new song. and I don't know how they will sing the song. But another vision I saw, also saw the vision also showed men. They were African American women. They were walking in line, one line in the wilderness. And as they were walking, they were singing a song, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord. And so that is a vision about deliverance and redemption. And so redemption is coming to the Hebrew Israelites, and specifically redemption is coming to the so-called African Americans. I'm not saying they are the only people who will be gathered, but I'm telling you that in this special vision where I saw women walking and singing in the wilderness, very green vegetation, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, they were African American women. And so we're talking about the ship, um, the vision about the handwriting. They sang a new song, and then it changed. They sang the song of Moses. It's a prophetic language coming directly from the Old Testament. And there will also be a new song in the future, and that will be the song of Moses and the song of the Lamb of God, as prophesied in the book of Revelation, chapter 15. You can read that. And so two songs will be sung. The one will be the song of deliverance from Exodus, the second Exodus that is coming. And then the other song will be the song of final redemption, as the chosen of God are gathered by the Messiah for final salvation, where they will sing a new song, the song of Moses and the song of the Lamb of God, the song of YESHUA, Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Messiah who do the gathering or the regathering of the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah. The purpose of this video is to give you hope about the gathering of the children of God, number one. Number two, and also to tell you that the children of God were not gathered in 1948. Why do I say that? If the children of God were gathered in 1948, why would the Lord be giving me visions about black women, African American women, singing a song in the wilderness in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord? Why would the Lord showed me a vision of the prophet Jeremiah regarding the African Americans on October 30th, 2007? So many years after 1948. Why would the Lord continue to give me that vision? And why would the Lord also show me a ship on the sea and a strange hand writing, a handwriting, and they sang a song, the song of Moses? Why would the Lord also show me that? It means that, consistent with the prophecies of regathering, particularly Isaiah 11:11, the Messiah has not gathered his chosen people, and it is our responsibility to blow the trumpet. We are in the final days. We are blowing the trumpet. The world, as you see it, is not going to be the same. The day of gathering or regathering, if you call it, and is now, and the Lord will confirm the regathering. The Lord will implement the regathering. He will manifest the regathering. It will come live, and it is one of the agendas on the calendar of the Lord. Is part of eschatology. And so this is to give you hope, those who are Hebrew Israelites who are scattered to all the four corners of the earth. Elam, Patros, Hamath, Cush, the island of the sea, and beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. So this is hope for you, and it is important for you to prepare for the gathering. Prepare for it, because the Lord, who is our God, is a holy God, and you need us to be holy. And so wherever you are, the land of bondages where you were scattered to, don't be part of the land. Don't imbibe the heathen culture of the land of your bondage. You need to prepare so that you will be accounted worthy to stand in the presence of the Lord. Thank you for watching this video. My email is raptureafrica@yahoo.com. I'm leaving it in the description box. The regathering has come. The regathering of the Hebrew Israelites is soon, and per revelation, I'm supposed to blow the trumpet. And so that's the trumpet I'm blowing for those who have ears to hear. Thank you. Thank you again.